What's up, guys? Welcome back to another day in the life. So, y'all, I be making sure that I have to keep my notes, okay? Because it's important as a content creator. You might have ideas in your head that you need to come up with right there on the whim. It might be something that you need to talk about right then and there, but you don't have the ability to talk about it. You got to make sure you take notes. Those thoughts that you have to get started is it's for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Those thoughts that you have about what you want to talk about, those are all things that you need to talk about, and stop like just saying, oh, well, that's a good idea. No, that idea can be reality. So it's good to, keep you a little notepad with you, so that way you can write down your notes whenever you need to. If a thought pops into your head, you can write it down real quick and keep going. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about is content batching, okay? Because I don't know about y'all, but you do not always have time to make content. Sometimes you are running low on time, or sometimes you like, for me, I got sick. And so when I was sick, I was not making content at that exact moment, but I still had content coming out, flowing out, because I realized that, and I'm gonna have to turn this fan on because it's getting hot. Let me see if I can turn my other one on. It's not as loud. Okay, so when you are making content, you need to make sure that you have some extra content put aside, so the way if you are tired and you're not able to make content, you are not stopping your content flow, right? Because once you start feeding the algorithm wants you to keep feeding it. And so if you're feeding it on a consistent basis on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or 3 times a week or 4 times a week, it's going to want you to keep that flow going, okay, in order for you to stay relevant. Otherwise, you're just going to fall short. So in order for you to keep climbing, you have to continue to have content coming out, even when you don't feel like making content. And how do you do that? You do that by creating content, by content batching. That is exactly how you do that. You have to content batch if you want to be successful as a 9-to-5er. Okay, because a lot of people want to do this, but then when they realize how much time it is to actually sit down and record and do all this and do all that, like, I ain't got time for that. Well, the way that you do it is you content batch. So you would take a day that you would make content. This might be your off day. You're going to take that day and you're going to make content all day long, for however long you need to make content for. And you're going to already have your ideas and your thoughts and everything that you want down on paper. That's why I'm telling y'all to, and if I didn't, make sure that you have you a little note. The reason why I'm saying that is because if you need to jot down something really quickly, you can. And then you can go back to those notes and actually create your content based off of those notes when you have time. So you need to make sure that you have something to write your ideas on. And then once you have those ideas, when you have time or a free day, you're going to go ahead and content batch. Make a lot of videos in that one day that's going to allow you to have content on a consistent basis. Meaning that if I am not able to create content that day, I still have content flowing out, okay? That is one of the major things that's going to help you to be a content creator while working a 9-to-5 job. Because whenever I have to be here, I can't always create home content or create content that I want to be creating all the time, right? So how do I get the message across to you guys what I want you to hear if I'm always here? I have to content batch when I'm not here. And I also do it on my breaks. Like I told you, use your time wisely and effectively. Don't just sit there and waste it, because if you've done 15 minutes here or 15 minutes there, that's only 30 minutes. You got 2 videos out within your 30-minute lunch break. Okay? And now you have content to where if you don't feel like making content that day, you can go back and look at one of those videos that you had, that you created, and you can allow people to watch that video. It's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't have to be fresh, right off the top, brand new content every single day. It just has to be you showing up consistently. Myself personally, I show up at least 4 times a week on this platform. Whether that's posting, whether that is me talking or whether that's me showing you guys something, I try to make sure that I show up at least 4 times. And if I'm not showing up 4 times, I try to make sure I'm showing up at least 3 times, which that will be more regular. Of course, you guys are going to start seeing me a little bit more regular, but the only way that I'm able to do that and work this 9 to 5 is by content batching, because I have to already have this stuff together. Otherwise, my content will fall flat if I don't feel good one day and I'm not able to make content. If I'm at work and I'm not able to make content, I still have to keep content flowing, because guess what? Being a content creator is a full-time job. That's a real job. A job that you create for yourself, meaning that if the content's not going out, you're not getting any play. You're not making no money. So you got to keep that content flowing. That means that, let me think of some ideas, jot them down on paper, and when I have free time, let me go ahead and get those ideas out and talk about whatever it is that I want to talk about. And if I don't feel like posting it that day, I have something to post another time. If I'm not able to post that day, at least I have something else put in place to where I still am able to post per my consistency levels with the platform that I'm supposed to be on. Because the platform that you're supposed to be on, they don't care about you being tired. They don't care about the fact that you don't have time to make content today because you're working this 9 to 5. If you say that you want to be a full-time content creator, then guess what? You're going to make time. No matter how tired you are. Guys, I cannot tell y'all how tired I be from making content all the time. But I realized that, okay, well, this is what you have to do. Make the content. If you're not making it, then guess what? You're not getting anything from it. And like I said, they don't care about whether or not you were tired and you couldn't do it. If you want it, you'll go after it, regardless of being tired. And content batching is definitely going to help you go after it, okay? That's something that a lot of people don't talk about. But I'm telling you, if you want to be a successful content creator as a 9 to 5er, content batch. Thank y'all for listening to me, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.